When Animal Farm was first published, Stalinist Russia was seen as its target. Today it is devastatingly clear that wherever and whenever freedom is attacked, under whatever banner, close in on the Korean flag please, the cutting clarity and savage comedy of George Orwell's masterpiece have a meaning and message still ferociously fresh. But God didn't seem to mind, so...
He had a good flick through, a very quick flick, seeing as he doesn't speak English or read English, but he nevertheless...
preferred the book on the Angkor temples, which had lots of pictures in.
Anyway, someone's coming.
Welcome to the North Korean special.
Very special episode indeed. All arises from the fact that we wanted to get to Russia, to Siberia, via Japan, but because of the crisis that was all cancelled.
Yeah, no pun intended. Just a quick explanation of the new haircuts. We are in fact in Russia, and I've only just got around to making this video because, well, we haven't got around to it, and so that's why we look like axe murderers and psychopaths. Yeah. And Nick has joined us. He's back again, and he's hopefully going to come all the way back to London, so it will be a regular feature. Yeah. And we're also in a train station at the moment, so if there's any announcements about the 10:56 to Moscow, apologies in advance. You're not allowed to bring in any video cameras, but as you're about to see, we did bring in several video cameras and took a hell of a lot of videos. So we'll keep the chat to a minimum because we've got a lot to fit in.
Worth noting that all of our videos and photos were checked on the way out, but we sneaked.
They were meant to be checked.
Memory
so we took the memory cards out of the cameras.
We replaced memory cards of North Korea with memory cards of Thai beaches,
which England.
Yeah, and English rolling countryside. So when the border guard came to check our cameras, all he saw was sort of Rory's hunting pics.
Currently on our way to the DMZ, demilitarised zone, and this is Korea. The countryside, stunningly beautiful. Lots of rural farmers wandering around with their produce, and yeah, there's not really much you can say apart from the fact that it looks incredibly cool. I have to whisper because we're not allowed to video anything, but here it is, rural Korea. We've passed about 3 checkpoints where there's been a roadblock and several soldiers, and we're about 20 minutes outside. It's amazing how few cars there are. Everyone seems to walk around and go around on bicycles or carts. This is the view looking down over the DMZ, well, demarcation line, and that's South Korea on that side. And I think this year a guy decided to stray across to the other side and was shot. So it's pretty cool. Now walking into a room which is half North Korea, half South Korea. And this is where some of the conferences took place. So literally about to step in South Korea. We are now all in South Korea.
South Korea is a lot nicer than North Korea.
Gutted not to get the stamp in the passport there.
The table is half in North Korea on that side and half in South Korea this side.
One of the strangest things we saw or encountered in North Korea was is this huge museum or building in which are stored every single present which has been given to Kim Jong-il,
our dear leader,
and Kim Il-sung,
our dear president.
It was ridiculous. It's literally like a 10-year-old who's kind of lined up all of his toy soldiers and action men and presents that he's been given. I mean, there are things like sort of plates that have been given to him by the Derbyshire County Council. We weren't allowed to take any pictures or videos in there, sadly, because it would be too much of a joke.
And there is a counting thing which counts all the presents he has.
So large is his ego, the first thing you see.
Yeah,
The number of presents was something like 20,000 given for over 170 countries or something.
It's the tomb of King Kong, the human variety, who ruled the Koryo dynasty. Really, really beautiful actually. And that's the view out over the surrounding mountains.
We were there for May Day Festival, which is probably sort of the biggest festival you can go to in the summer in Pyongyang. It's pretty
Not
much
the musical kind.
not
clarify.
Yeah, not the musical.
National holiday.
Pretty, yeah.
One
much
of 10.
Korean way of festivaling, which is quite unique.
Yeah.
One of 10 national holidays a year, and North Koreans work 6 days a week.
It's getting very rowdy down in the Pyongyang. I don't know what it's called. Go on, Nick, move those feet. Yeah. 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 Getting down with the funk of it. I've got to get a video, mate. I've got one.
And we were staying in the Yanggakdo Hotel, which is closed to Koreans, possibly because of the fact that there are televisions
Playing BBC.
with BBC World Service in the rooms.
We did see
and
the
there's
royal
bars.
wedding. We saw the royal wedding in North Korea, which was broadcast to us,
Which is
and
very bizarre.
it was a good laugh.
It was amazing actually going into North Korea from China. We took the train from Beijing, and there's a bridge. There's a bit of a body of water in between China and North Korea, and so there's a bridge that goes out. And there's two bridges. One which the Chinese have built, which goes halfway across, and is a kind of tourist pier for them to peer into North Korea.
Oh, lovely.
And then there's the actual train bridge itself, and it's amazing because you can see all the skyscrapers on the Chinese side, and then the North Korean side is flat.
When we came into North Korea, we were quickly searched. All of our luggage was searched, and we weren't allowed our mobile phones, internet, GPS.
It was quite funny,
laptops.
yeah, because the train guard said, the first thing he said was, "Do you have any mobile phones?" And we sort of said, "Yeah," and declared them. And he said, "Do you have any GPS?" To which I said, "Well, yeah, actually I do, because I've got this sort of compass thing, which has GPS on it." And I showed it to him, and he said, sort of, "GPS, sir?" And I said, "Yeah, GPS, it's GPS, I'm sorry, I don't really know how it works, but it's GPS." He said, "GPS?" I was like, "Yeah, it is." He was like, looked at it for about 5 minutes with his mates, and then was just like, whatever. Among highlights, we played football with some locals who were really, really good. Park Ji-sung and co.
Playing a very heated game of Korean rules football. There's no sort of pitch per se, but it's a lot of fun. Hey! Hey! Oh! Oh! Shit, sorry, are you okay? That was a foul. Communism at its best. Down at the local park, watching the celebrations for the May Day festival. And it's amazing, got three-legged races going on. Sort of a chair spin ride. There's a little tram up there taking people around the park. Sort of, you know, absolute clone of Russia in the 1960s and 70s. I don't know what's going on in here. There's a little girl running through. There's a big van over there with some large speakers on top, reminding everyone how very happy they are. Oh, it's a kids' race. Classic. On your marks, get set. Democracy. Here we go. Who's going to make it? Oh, I think that's a tie. Absolute anarchy. And the crowd goes wild. Well, sort of.
What else did we do? We went to a sort of dance fest on one of the parks, which was good. Good to see some moves being busted out by the Koreans, and the crowd went wild when we joined into the fray.
Not quite what you expected.
The club can't even handle me right now. Watching you, watching me, I go all out. The club can't even handle me right. Hey, 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 hey.
We sampled quite a lot of North Korean cuisine. They kind of made it quite clear they wanted us to think that there was quite a lot of food going around in the country, so we were never particularly
Always
starved.
treated 10 times better than the real North Koreans live, we imagine.
We didn't get
the guides we had two guides. You always have to have at least two guides with you, so that one of them is always watching the other in terms of what they say. It was interesting. They're clearly a lot more clued up about the West than some of their friends. because they also spend their whole time
Although
around
having
Westerners.
said that, we did ask Kim, who was one of our guys, well of course Kim, but we asked her if she knew about Barack Obama, to which she said, "Who's dead?"
On May Day, there's a pilgrimage from lots of people in Pyongyang to their great president's grave, or his mausoleum rather, Kim Il-sung, where his body has been embalmed, like Lenin's in Moscow, and
although unlike Lenin's in Moscow, his body never leaves the sort of glass cabinet that it's in, which would suggest that either they've got some technology that has not quite reached the West in terms of embalmment, or he's made of plastic, because...
It does look suspiciously like the latter.
What did you think of the embalmed body, Rory?
Well, the whole building, apart from the embalmed body, was a bit of a deja vu, I'd say. More national anthem, subdued lighting.
Did you enjoy the room of lamentation?
More showing off of medals that he's won. He's managed to get 4 medals from North Korea itself, the Democratic Republic of. So well done, Kim Il-sung, for
awarding yourself a medal.
From four hero medals, I think they're called. As for the body, unlike the one in Russia, which closes quite a lot to preserve Lenin's body, apparently this one is open every day of the year, just forever.
24/7, like a McDonald's.
And it's never shut. 2,000 people go in and out a day, and the body doesn't look wax-like or fake at all, so good experience really, as we wrote in the guest book.
Oliver?
Tear-jerking moments inside.
Also, if it was fake, then they'd need to shut it every
Looking at
now
the
and
man
again.
who
But they never
has made this nation what it is today.
Exactly.
He's a very funny
Oh, I've got to take a look at that Hollywood.
This is.
Rory, what was the verdict when you asked about the prison system in North Korea?
I said, what did I say? I said, so what's the prison system? What are they like?
What are the prisons like?
What are the prisons like? The what? The prisons? The what? The prisons? The prisons? Yes, the prisons. We don't have prisons. We have re-education centres. We all bowed to countless statues and laid flowers and...
One of the statues was so realistic that
Saluted.
Nick, without his contact lenses in, thought it was real.
We all walked into a room which had a big build-up through security checks and things, and it was an air-conditioned room with the national anthem playing slowly in the background. And loudly. And we walked in, and it was silent, and you have to walk in, and you have to wear smart clothes, hand on your back, and you all line up in a line in front of a life-size waxwork of Kim Il-sung, who died in the 1990s. And you all stand there, and you bow to him simultaneously, and then you walk out without turning your back on him. And we got outside, and Nick said, I suddenly burst out laughing. And we said, why? He said, well, and basically it turns out that he thought that this waxwork of a man who died 20 years ago was real. He thought that we were actually standing in Kim Il-sung's presence, and that we just met a man.
Just a note on Kim Il-sung, the date in North Korea is set according to the time from his birth.
So we're in the year 100 at the moment. We are now, as you can clearly see from the hairstyling, in Russia, and we'll try and get another video up soon because we've got quite a lot to show from Kamchatka, the land of ice and fire.
What do you think of it all, Rory?
I think we're all a bit surprised at, to an extent, how normal it is. And that, you know, I suppose
Life goes on.
People expect to see zombies wandering around, giving robotic, programmed answers to everything, but actually, they're just normal people with normal hopes and dreams. You know? So we beat on, votes against the current.
Born back ceaselessly into the past.